Good afternoon, and we're going to get rolling here. And the one thing we want to talk about today is just take a step back and look at the world markets a little bit. In the news media, a lot's been made of recently, and how we've had a decent bounce in Chinese futures, and that can offer some support. And we're not going to disagree with that, but it's probably not as much of a bullish catalyst as what's being led on. And here's the reason why. This chart in front of us right now, we have Chinese corn futures on the top, we've got US corn futures on the bottom. And you can see here over the last few months that they've been going in opposite directions. The Chinese market's been firming, while the US market has gone lower. That should tell us we should have some demand showing up, and we have had some export business recently to China on corn. But now, when we look at this next slide, okay, we have Brazil front month corn on the top chart and US on the bottom. You need to keep in mind that the US major competitor for the export market is Brazil, and because the Brazilian market is so soft, the US market has had to come down to this Brazilian price in order to get some new export business. As we look towards the end of the year and into 2024, US corn is competitive on the world market, and we should see some business show up or come our way. But the reason why is we're becoming competitive with Brazil. As we flip over to soybeans, just like corn, we've had a nice rally on Chinese soybean futures. And when you look towards new crop November, it recently traded to a 5-month high in China. When you take a step back, though, and you compare US soybeans to Chinese soybeans, you can see they're about that mid range from where they've been at the last couple of years. Not really bullish or bearish. But when we compare US prices to the Brazilian market in here, you can also see that we're at midpoint. What's happened recently, though, is the Brazil price has gone up, and now the US is very competitive on the world market, and that's why we almost have daily announcements. It has more to do with our price with where Brazil's at than when we're looking at China. We want to glance at wheat quickly. And our point here on wheat is we got EU on the top chart, the US Chicago wheat on the bottom chart. US Chicago wheat recently traded to a 3-year low, yet the EU market is holding just above the 2023 low and well above the 2021 low. This tells us on the wheat, US is becoming a little bit more competitive. We are down sharply here today, but we're reaching values in here where there should be some fundamental support. And we think wheat would be the first one to seasonally bottom here as we head into the fall time frame. Now, as we wrap up today, it's important to keep in mind when looking at the world markets, there's both buyers and sellers. You got to always caution yourself on headlines out there. We prefer to look at both sides. We're going to end things in here, and this really isn't on the bright side, but it's a fact. You need to realize that Brazil is now the major world exporter for both corn and soybeans. They are the driver of the global market. And so when we're looking at export competition, we need to directly look at Brazilian prices. As always, we got to take a step back and look at the crops here in the US, but this is a global market. We need to respect what's going on in the rest of the world as well. Have a great day.